Yes. So today's the topic is linear equations with two variables. That is the topic. But before directly going and jumping into this linear equations with two variables, let me go with some basics like which we learned in our lower classes. First of all, we all know what is meant by a variable, what is meant by a coefficient, what is meant by a constant, and what is meant by a term, right? Everyone knows. I hope everyone knows this. You might have learned in the lower classes. Once again, I'll try to explain those things. See, when I say constant, the value will never change, right? Those things are called as a constant. All numerics, right? 5, 10, -1, all are called as a constants. Now, variable means the value which is not fixed, which we don't know, right? That we will assume usually, let there is a number. What that number, it could be, we will assume that it is a x. Now, in this case, x is called as a variable. Now, x is multiplied with some number, right? Let's say x is multiplied by 5. Now, how do we write this? 5x. Now, this is called as a, what you call this one? This is called as a term. What you call this one? Term. And what is the coefficient here? Now the variable is x and x is multiplied with what? X is multiplied with some constant, right? That is nothing but here coefficient of that variable. In that case, coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x here? Coefficient
5.
of x equal to 5. Is it necessarily be a positive number? No. It can be a negative number also. For example, -10x. Now, what is the variable here? Variable is x. What is the coefficient of x here? The coefficient of x is -10. And it not be an integer. It could be a fraction also. Say 3/2 into y. What is the variable here? The variable here is y. And what is the coefficient of y? Y is multiplied with 3/2. So this is called as a coefficient of y. Just sit properly. Are you clear, everyone? Any doubts? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So now, what is the general form of a linear equation with one variable? That's the next thing. So we all know that what is meant by a linear equation. What is meant by a linear equation? What exactly the linear equation?
An equation with only one variable and equates to 0.
Right. An equation with only one variable.
1, 0, one variable and equals to 0.
And the degree, one variable, comma, degree is
Degree 1
degree of the variable.
is 1.
Degree of the variable is 1. And it should be equal to some
0.
constant. Okay. It might be 0 or some value. Either 0 or some value.
Or some value.
Right? So this is what the definition of a linear equation with one variable. Now, I understood clearly this is what linear. What is the general form of a linear equation with one variable is ax plus b equal to 0. What are a and b? A and b are the real numbers, and of course a should be not equal to 0. What happens if a equal to 0? Then it won't become a linear equation, right? Linear equation means we should have at least one variable. If a becomes 0, then this whole term will become 0. Then you will have only constant. Then you'll have a term, right? So that's the reason a should not be equal to 0. And a comma b belongs to, what are those? It can be a real numbers. A comma b, it might be a negative number, it might be a positive number, or it might be a fraction also. That's the meaning of a comma b belongs to real numbers. Is it clear, children? Everyone? Yes or no? Prasda joined, and where is she? She is there. I think she joined. I'm not sure what happened. So the general form of a linear equation is ax plus b equal to 0. It's not necessarily be x plus b equal to 0. We can say that my plus k equal to 0. What is the variable here? The variable over here is y. What is the constant here? The constant is k. The constant is k. What is the coefficient of y? Coefficient of y is m. Is it clear? Hamza, remove your head on your, remove your hands. Focus here, okay? Is it clear? Everyone, linear equation with one variable. How do we solve this? We know, but when we solve that, you might be remembering that the basic things, right? Plus should go to the other side. What it will become? Minus. Minus is going other side. What it will become? Plus, right? And into goes to the other side. What it will become? Divided by, right? And then divided by goes to the other side will become into. These are all basics. Whenever if you are doing any mathematical equation, this should be, we should know these things. Nobody will go and teach separately. And also, we should not expect that teacher should teach. Here I'm there, I know your caliber. That's the reason I'm teaching. But if you go on school, they won't teach these things again, right? Tell me, any school they taught in 10th class? Definitely no, they won't teach. It's a waste of time for them, right? So these things by explicitly you should know, because you are studying these things from 6th onwards, right? That's the one thing. What is the reciprocal of 4 by 3? What is the reciprocal of 4 by 3?
3 by 4, sir.
3 by 4. What about others?
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes, sir. 3 by 4.
3 by 4. Did I ask multiplicative reciprocal? Right? I asked reciprocal. Right?
Sir, it's the opposite of 4 by 3. So it's 3 by.
Okay. So 4 by 3, the multiplicative reciprocal. If somebody asks specifically, then it is good. 3 by 4. See, there is something called additive inverse. What is the inverse of 3 by 4? What is the inverse of 3 by 4?
Additive or multiplicative?
You should ask that. That's the reason I given the clue. If it is a multiplicative means, then what it will become? 4 by 3.
4 by 3.
What is the additive inverse of 3 by 4?
Minus 3 by 4.
Minus 3 by 4. Everyone open your mouth. Why it is called minus 3 by 4? Additive inverse is minus 3 by 4. Why? Any
Plus
reason?
changes to minus and minus changes to plus.
It's
in
not
additive
like that,
inverse.
sir. It's not like that. See, 3
So
by
when
4
it's
is there.
reciprocate, so like it'll change signs.
On what number if I add 3 by 4, so that you will get additive identity. What is the additive identity? 0, right? Now tell me, 3 by 4 should be added to whom, so that I'll get 0?
Minus 3 by
Minus 3 by 4. That is the logic. It's not like plus and minus. That is the short rule. Okay. So when somebody asks, how do I find additive inverse? We should know additive inverse. Say, if I say A by B should be added minus A by B. Minus A by B should be added to whom? So that I will get additive identity.
Plus
What is
A by
additive
B.
identity? 0.
A by B.
A by B. These are all basics. You should not by heart. Okay. Similarly here, 3 by 4 is there. Why multiplicative inverse is 4 by 3? What is the multiplicative identity? 1, right? On whom if I multiply 3 by 4, so that you will get 1, 4 by 3, right? Then only you will get
4
1.
by 3.
Yes, that's the reason the multiplicative inverse of 3 by 4 is 4 by 3, vice versa. Multiplicative inverse of 4 by 3 is 3 by 4. Is it clear? Why I am telling these things are required, okay, in the not only in this chapter, but in this chapter also we will use. All right. So we are very much clear about linear equation. If I draw the linear equation graph, how it should be? It's a straight line, right? It's a straight line. It will be like this, or it will be like this, or it will be like this. It's a straight line. How many solutions a linear equation will have?
So 1.
Only one?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It can be infinite.
How come it will be infinite? See, this
It will
is a
have
linear
one
equation.
unique solution.
This is a linear equation. what is mean by a solution? Tell me. What does mean? What is your understanding of a solution? For which
there will
value
only be one zero.
satisfies, right? For which value this equation satisfies? Satisfies means LHS equal to RHS. That is the meaning of satisfaction. Now tell me, yeah, how come it will have infinite solutions? No. How do I get the value of x? Ax equal to plus b comes to this side, it will become minus b, and x equal to how much?
Minus b by
Minus b
a.
by a.
So
So it'll have one
definitely this
variable.
equation will have only one unique solution.
Only one.
This linear equations with one variable will have only one unique solution. That is a by default. Is it clear? So what we discussed,
Okay,
what
sir.
is meant by a linear equation? What is the general form of a linear equation, right? How many solutions does the linear equation will contain? These 3 points, bullet points we discussed. Okay, and how do we solve? While solving the things, plus should go to the other side, becomes minus, minus will become plus, into will become divided by, divided will become into, right? Is it clear? These are the things which we know already. Nobody will teach all these things, right? In school, definitely they won't teach all these things. When you went for 10th class, right? When they start this chapter, they won't teach. All right. Now the question is here, linear equation with two variables. Right. So this is the chapter which we are going to learn. This chapter is very, very important in terms of case study, in terms of multiple choice question, in terms of 3 marks question for your board exam. So be focused, okay? All right. So the name itself says that how many variables it should contain? It should contain two variables. And see, generally, I think the chapter name is pair of linear equations, right? That is the chapter name, I guess. Right?
Yes, sir.
If I put in YouTube, right, they will tell this fellow is don't know the chapter name also he started, but it's okay. So it is a pair of linear equation. First, we will try to understand what is a linear equation with two variables. For example, you can see here 2x plus 3y equal to 6. How many variables are there here? How many variables are there here? Two variables. So I can say that this is an example of linear equation with two variables. Is it clear? I can say this. This is an example for that. Let's take another example. Always it is not necessarily be a positive also. Even it should have negative also. Minus 7x minus 2y plus 10 equal to 0. Yes, this is also an example of linear equation with two variables. Linear equation with two variable, and make sure that what is here 7? 7 is nothing but coefficient of whom? Coefficient of x. What about minus 2? Minus 2 is coefficient of y. And you have one constant also. So if I put it in the general form, how does it will be? Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. And a is not equal to 0, as well as b is also not equal to 0. Why? If anyone is equal to 0, then it is not a linear equation with two variables. Let's say a is 0, then what you are having? By plus c equal to 0. Then what it will become? It will become a, what it will become? By plus c equal to 0 is a linear equation with one variable. Linear equation with one variable. Is it clear? Yes or no? A and B should not be equal to 0. Is it clear? The general form of a linear equation with two variables is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Now, they are putting one more verb here. What is that? Pair of. Pair means how many? Usually pair means how many?
So 2.
2. Why? People are thinking too much, huh? Pair means 2, right? But here, how many linear equations with two variables I am having?
1.
3.
One,
One.
only one, right? Where is 2 or 3? Then now, how many solutions this guy will contain?
Sir,
One.
one solution.
No, not one, because you are not able to
Two
find
solutions.
value and y.
Two solutions.
It
Infinite
contains
solution.
infinite
Infinite.
solutions. Why? Because we cannot find exact x value and exact y value. That's why it contains infinite solution. Infinite solution. Now tell me the point. There is a linear equation 2x plus 3y equal to 6. How many solutions that that equation will contain? Infinite solutions. Is that clear? Any linear equation, not pair. I'm talking about any linear equation with with two variable will contains how many solutions? Many solutions. The reason we cannot find the exact value of x and y. That's the reason. You remember that in 9th class, you might have learned in the graph. What you took just, you might have assumed some value for x, right? Let's say you remember this x will be 0 you took, then y will be 6 by 2, right? 6 by 2 is nothing but 6 by 3 is nothing but 2. Then you took y as a 0, then x will become 3. These are all assumptions, right? Anybody can assume any value. These are all not a fixed values, right? Just we are assuming and then we are getting the corresponding value. If I assume x equal to something, then I'm getting y value, but it is not the exact values, right? So that's why linear equation with two variables, if I have only one linear equation with two variables, like something like this equation contains many values, many solutions. Solution means which satisfies the equation, right? That is the meaning of solution. Is that clear? Yes or no? So if somebody asks, there is a linear equation with two variables. How many solutions that the equation contains? How many
Sir,
solutions?
infinite.
Infinite solutions. Who is there? One more guy is supposed to join. One more. Jayeta is okay. Charvita. Okay, I don't know what happened to Charvita. In between she cut. All right, no issues. So that's about linear equation with two variables. Now we are going to talk about pair. So pair of linear equations with two variables. That is the thing. Pair means you should have linear equation with two variables. How many linear equations with two variables should have? Two.
Sir,
Should,
2.
for example, x plus y equal to, let us assume that 10. And then 2x plus y equal to, let's say, for example, 50, right? These are all two linear equation. Why it is a linear equation? With two variables means you have a two variables here, and here also you have a two variable. That's why this is called as a linear equation with two variables. How many solutions it contains, we will see that later. Now, if somebody asks, see, I can't put, I can't put ax plus by plus c equal to 0. That is a linear equation only, two variable. But when you are talking about pair, what about here 2 and 1 are constants, right? I can assume that a1x plus b1y, right? Plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0. Similarly, I can assume another linear equation with two variable a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. Is that clear? What about a1 is the coefficient of x, b1 is the coefficient of y, a2 is the coefficient of x in the second equation, b2 is the coefficient of y in the second equation. What about c1 and c2? c1, c2 are constants. c1, c2 are constants. Is that clear? If somebody asks you to, what is the general form of a linear equation with two variables? You can write like this. Some people will say they will send plus c1. Instead of putting plus c1 here, they will put c1 also equal to c1. That is also correct, equal to c2. It doesn't matter. Okay. This is also linear equation with two variable. This is also linear equation with two variable. Is I am clear, children? Yes or no? Any doubts till now? Shall we take a
No,
notes?
sir.
Shall we note
Yes,
down
sir.
the notes? Isn't it? Yeah, please put the side heading, main heading, pair of linear equations with two variables. Pair of linear equations with two variables. Sharvita, in your school, this chapter is over.
Sir, like last exercise, they're still pending.
How many days they took?
Sir, I think 1 week. Yes, sir, 1 week.
Just 1 week they completed.
Yes, sir, but still like last exercise is pending. We have to do it.
Right. How many days they will take?
Sir, but we had like 2 periods per day. That's why. Like 2 hours per day. That's
Okay, okay. All right. An equation, note down, next
Yeah,
line,
4.
equation, an equation in the form of, an equation in the form of ax plus b equal to 0. Ax plus b equal to 0 is called ax plus b equal to 0. In the bracket you put a is not equal to 0. A is not equal to 0 is called linear equation with one variable. Linear equation with one variable. Example, 2x plus 3 equal to 0. 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Next, linear equation with one variable. Linear equation with one variable contains only one solution. Only one solution. Next point. The general form the general form of an linear equation with two variables is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Where a comma b and c. Hamza, remove your hand. I told several times, don't keep on your head. Where a comma b and c are real numbers. Real numbers and a is not equal to 0, comma b is not equal to 0, and a is not equal to 0 and b is not equal to 0. Is that clear till now? Yes. Next slide heading. Next slide heading. Pair of linear equations. Pair of linear equations or they will say simultaneous also. Both are same only. Don't get confused. Pair, simultaneous, both are same only. Pair slash simultaneous. Sorry. Sorry.
Sir, is it simultaneous linear equations?
Both are same only. That's what I am telling. Pair, simultaneous, both are same. The heading you can put pair slash simultaneous linear equation with two variables. Pair